Waterslides. The pub is open. It's episode 63. How exciting is that, right? I say that every week. But you know I mean it.
I'm excited.
So many things. And a breaking news item just when I sat down here. First of all, what are we drinking? Well, this is a little beer from Sheboygan, which is in Wisconsin. I did not have shows there, but I have had shows there. Wonderful little town. 3 Sheep Brewing. 3 Sheeps. Now, you're going to get me right with that. And you're going to get me with the can. It's called Waterslides. It's an Indian Pale Ale. I like any kind of Indian Pale Ale, as it turns out. I'm an easy, I'm an easy Indian Pale Ale lady. But we're also drinking, we're going to taste this. This is why I love my friends. This is what tells you it's the thought that counts, not the value of the gift. So I came home. This was in the mail. UPS'd it. UPS. Lorene and my friend Lorene and her husband Tony had bothered to UPS. And I thought, what is she never, we don't really send each other stuff in the mail. Lorene's not a big drinker, per se. Not like I would be considered a drinker. It's just not, but occasionally, Lorene can bust out and do crazy fun stuff. And she sent me 2 Skrewball, they're airplane bottles. So she bought these on purpose somewhere because she tasted it in Vegas. And she's like, have you ever had peanut butter whiskey? I said, no, this one's called Skrewball, again with a sheep on it. Delicious. Right. Now, somebody said put it over ice, which I'm sure, but I want to taste it right now in my Bucky shot glass.
Want some hot shot?
That's okay. Peanut butter's hot.
Delicious.
I like peanut butter. Here we go. I don't want to waste it, though. If it's good, I probably would put it over ice. And, oh, wow.
Nice.
Well, it's very sweet. Very sweet.
So is Lorraine.
Yes. I don't think that's a word Lorraine would go. Give me 3 words to describe yourself. Sweet. No.
Nope.
Organized. Yep. Smart.
Practical.
Funny.
Really,
witty.
Really funny.
Talented. Mm-hmm. Anyway, wow. That's sweet. You gotta, I'd throw ice. Yeah. Okay. But boy, is it good. I don't want to know the calories, and I don't want to know the carbs. I don't want to know anything. I just want to enjoy it. So there's a tiny tip. It's really a wintry drink too. So we're heading into winter. So there you go, termites. So much breaking news. Well, first of all, I received some termite stuff. So we'll go through a couple things here. How cute is this? It's a giant ranch magnet.
No.
Yeah.
Cool.
This is from, hello, Kathleen. Hello. This person's been a fan for a long time. This is Krista from, Zone 4. That's where Krista's from. I don't know. It just, oh no, South Bend, Indiana. Yeah. All right, Krista. So I think you can go on this site. It almost looked like Lego crafts in a flash, pop culture perler beads. Oh, but I think this makes it a magnet. Yeah. Get it? I don't have anything to attach. Maybe my beer can. No. Aluminum. Right. See? Science fail.
Science.
Thank you, Krista. I'll find a place for the magnet. I know the stainless steel fridges, that's the problem with them, though. They don't take magnets. Well, my sister's does somehow. It's a shit show. My sister's refrigerator, you don't even see the refrigerator door. There's just so much shit on it. She didn't even notice it. I took a picture and put it on Instagram. Is this normal for people with kids? And then she was like, did you post my refrigerator on Facebook? I'm like, I sure did. And then I got this. This is the big Irish quiz game. And boy, I opened it, and I'm not Irish enough to win. And this is from Stephanie. But it's interesting. My dad could probably win. Update. There's no ranch dressing included in this present. But thank you. I got it. I'll take it to Thanksgiving. And then my dad will trounce all of us. And then that'll be the end of that game. Yeah. True. What are we tasting? Well, this is because one of you termites told me about this. So I went and got them. Lays, once again, my favorite potato chip. I don't think you should fuck with it. Wavy Funyun flavored.
Delicious.
I do love a Funyun every now and then.
Yeah, they're good.
It's a good change up. But you're sick of them after about 2.
Yeah. Too much.
No.
No?
Just get a Funyun. I don't understand. We're going to take the flavor of something that exists and put it in something that's already fine and then create a hybrid that doesn't taste like fucking either one of them. And I just don't need to be cussing like that over that. But it's just, it's a waste of money.
Strong feelings.
Very strong feelings. God dang. At least I saw a Lay's truck in Minnesota downtown. At least they have the original on the truck. Make it real. It's just, it doesn't taste like anything. So we lost the taste of the Funyun and we lost the taste of the Lays. Yeah. I don't understand how they can afford all this experimentation. Because I guarantee you those won't be around 6 months from now. We're going to try Search Kensington's Pizza Ranch. Now, this is, I looked at it. Here's the reason I'm not in love with Sir Kensington, but it's good for people to know. Whenever I go, I don't love it. It's because it's dairy free. Why isn't this coming out? Oh, I didn't poke a hole in that part here. But the kids might like this. I don't know. The kids like, well, no, the kids don't like everything. Okay. Like, my nephew's super picky. But yes, in general, I would agree. Pizza Ranch. Oh my God.
No. It's a horrified look.
It's so tangy. You got to be prepared.
Does it taste like pizza?
I like it. Yeah,
Really?
it does.
Great.
Yeah. But again, I would just eat pizza or ranch. Right. All right, we're going to try Hellman's spicy dipping sauce. I've started a big, inadvertently, I don't know how, I don't remember how it started, my fight about Miracle Whip versus mayonnaise. Was it on the Pubcast? I thought it was on, posted something on Instagram. I think, I'm just going to throw this out there. Okay. Well, depending on the region. Right. Like my mom was always on a budget. There's 7 of us, grocery store, and she had that red clicker counter thing that drove me fucking bad fruit. And then we'd get, it was a red thing that was like she would go, you put in your dollar amount, a calculator, but like of the old days. So everything that we should have been sitting there and schnooks with a fucking abacus. And then she'd click down the aisle and we'd say, can we have it? And she'd look at it and she's crazy good at math. My mom's like a computer just rolling around. And she'd be like, so like Miracle Whip was cheaper than, well, I didn't know there was mayonnaise. I thought Miracle Whip was mayonnaise. Right. Probably till I was 25.
What? Come on.
I'm serious, till I went on the road doing comedy. That's how I learned everything. Going on the road. I learned everything.
When you go to a sub shop, they don't say, do you want Miracle Whip on your sandwich?
Whoa. I'm so old, there were no sub shops. Okay, you had to make your own goddamn sandwich. There was no Subway. There was no Jersey Mike's. Wow. If you wanted a sandwich, you made it, or you went to a restaurant and got it. And if you said, they didn't say Miracle Whip, it just came out like that.
What'd you get on your cheeseburger then?
Nobody ever put cheese. I didn't learn about mayonnaise on a cheeseburger until I went to Ireland. Ketchup, mustard only. Shut up. God. Miracle Whip was cheaper. That's why we had it, and I didn't care. And now as an adult, I've learned about all these other mayonnaises, and I agree on some things, but Miracle Whip, it rocks it on a devil's egg. It's tangier. Yeah. On my bologna, I want Miracle Whip. Yeah. Mayonnaise is too thick. Anyway, I still haven't tasted Duke's, the Southern mayonnaise.
Somebody yelled at you about that.
I know, I got to try it. Hellman's. Yeah, Hellman's Light. I've bought it. I like it. It's fine. This is their spicy dipping sauce. Sweet and spicy kick. No high fructose corn syrup. Boo. I'm going to put that on the next. What's your favorite food? High fructose corn syrup? Is it in it? Because if it's not, I'm going to pass. All right. Spicy dipping sauce. That's kind of ill-defined. No. That's not it on any level. Once again, Hellman's, your mayonnaise is good. Yeah, that's like I made it. Yeah. Wow.
Beer.
Yeah.
Beer.
Wow.
Beer.
Peanut whiskey.
Peanut whiskey.
God. Oh my God. So many. Okay. So I sat down to do this, and breaking news, because I record these on weird days and then they just come out on Tuesdays. Facebook update. They announced on Thursday, just 5 minutes ago, that they're going to change its company name to Meta. Because he's going to create the metaverse, which sounds like my one and only idea of hell, where we all exist in some virtual fucked up world. The name change was announced at the Facebook Connect Augmented and Virtual Reality Conference. I'd rather shoot myself in the eyeball than go into that. Reflects the company's growing ambitions in social media with the metaverse, which again, I've Googled and I didn't know, it's word salad. I'm going to print out the actual definition that I read because I was going to talk about it in here, but I didn't understand it because it didn't make any sense. We all just live in a computer. That's what he wants. That's what his goal is. The company's growing social ambitions with social media and the metaverse, a classic sci-fi term Facebook has adopted to describe its vision for working and playing in a virtual world. No, we have a world. It's super fun. Yeah, even the weather's fun, even when it's shitty. It's raining today. I love it. Today we are seen as a social media company. If they change the actual Facebook thing to Meta, that is going to confuse a shit ton of old people. Including my parents. Yeah. Are we on the meta book? Have you signed me up? What does this mean? Our facial book doesn't work? How am I going to spy on the grandkids? I'll read more about this for next week, but that's it. That's the new name. Now, I don't know. I don't understand. We believe the metaverse will be the successor to the mobile internet. Oh, Zuckerberg. Rebranding comes after the company has dealt with a barrage of news reports over the past months. Those have stemmed from the whistleblower person, and they didn't know what to do with the Stop the Steal thing. They also didn't know what to do to stop the anti-vax video thing. They didn't know anything. Turns out they don't know nothing. Because you know what? They have created a monster, and the monster rules them. And they like the monster. They act like they're like, well, sometimes the monster bites and sometimes the monster growls, but we're sorry about that, but we're really trying to get it. No, you're not. No, you're not. You want that monster to be crazy and out and reach every nook and cranny. What's their slogan? Connect with the world. I don't even want to meet my neighbors. I mean, a couple, the ones that drink. I've met a lot of my neighbors during COVID. And what's weird is you ferret out who you really like from cul-de-sac drinking. Yeah. Anyway, I'm eating another Funyun because I'm hungry. It's not because I like it. It's all right. It's just a waste. All right. So that was that update. Update! Oh, my God. This is still great. Houston's Mattress Mack. We talk about him all the time. And I know people are going to go. People go, well, he's a big, he gives to Trump and he gives to Republicans. I don't care. He does really nice things for Houston. He's extremely generous. And if everybody acted like that, we wouldn't have to have all the super crazy tax things and all that because you would just trust people to do nice things. But you can't trust people. But you can trust Mattress Mack. And he bet on the Astros. And he could win almost $39 million if they win the World Series. Oh, wow. I love it. Wait to hear this. Here's the thing. I'm kind of rooting. I don't have a dog in this World Series fight. And I'm sure the networks are very sad that it's not L.A., because of the viewership. I didn't even look up the ratings. I want to see what the rating for last night was. Probably not so good, yeah. If the Houston Astros win the World Series, it would be hard to find anybody happier about it than Jim Mattress Mack McIngvale. Am I saying his name right? Mick Ingville. McIngville? I don't know. Texas people, you'll correct me, I'm sure. The flamboyant Houston furniture store owner is not only a huge Astros fan, but he's also set to win. The headline said $39 million. This says 38. Oh, $38.9 million. If his team. He told CNN that he bet $3.3 million back in June that the Astros would win it all. He said he made the wagers to cover another gamble of sorts. Customers who bought certain mattresses that cost him $3,000 or more will get their money back if the Astros win. This is what he always does. He offsets it. Yeah, it's a hedge bet, he said, who's well known for his commercials and his charitable work. He turned in stores into shelters to help people displaced by February's devastating winter storm, which is more than I can say for who? Mr. Joel Osteen. Mr. I can't stop blinking. I have dry eye. Hi, my name's Joel Osteen. And do you think I'm blinking straight yet? I am. Yeah, I mean, he didn't open his shit, and you're the preacher boy. Right. You're preacher man. Yep. This guy did. A furniture store. And I've seen pictures of it. People camped out, like families went in sections. Like, look, here's a family room. Well, where's a family? And he let them live. And I would have thought to myself, if I owned that furniture store, I'd be like, shit, don't spill soda on this, all right? Like, I am going to try to sell this later. Like, I'd have to put a few rules in place. But they were all just relaxed. It was wonderful. Good for him. Hurricane Harvey, he did all kinds of great stuff and other severe, blah, blah, blah. Great charity things. McInville spread out his bets on 4 different sports betting companies, including $2 million at Caesars that would pay out $22 million if the Astros win. Because people taking these bets have to think about it too. Do we want to cover this? They probably have limits, and then he'll split it up. The company said that would be the largest reported single payout in U.S. history, betting history. It's been exciting to follow along the season because he did this back in June. I mean, who knew the Astros would make it this far? Should be a great series to watch. He estimated that his store sold about 5,000 qualifying mattresses during the promotion, which 5,000. So he'll have to give them money back, right. Which ran from June right up to the first pitch of Games 1 loss to the Braves. He said that the bets are cheaper than insurance to cover the cost of the promotion. That a lot of companies didn't want to take on the liability. His bets are also good marketing for his stores. This is a great quote. My wife says I have a gambling problem, but actually I have a promotions problem. Yeah. I promote as a hobby because it's called business and it gets more people in here. This past week we had 3-1, the biggest sales week in company history. Been here 40 years. He bets it will more than cover the cost of the promotion if he wins, and the increase in sales has been more than he wagered. How smart is that? Very smart. I'm in a good position. Obviously, I'm pulling for the Astros. They had a rough night last night, but if you know life offers you a second chance, it's called Tomorrow. Suit up. That's right. He ran similar promotions. I really like what this guy does. And here's the weird thing. I have no dog in this fight, but my good friend Vic Henley, the comedian who passed away, was a huge Braves fan. Yeah. So, deep down, secretly, well, it's not so secret anymore. I just said it. Well, for Vic. But,
the metaverse.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I don't know. I didn't even watch. I feel terrible saying that. Because I've been watching what? Lewis told me to watch this. I'm surprised Lewis loved it. He didn't love it. He said it was good enough. It's called, and it was released in 2019. It's called The Morning Show. And it's got Reese Witherspoon, who I always like. She always does a good job. And Jennifer Aniston. She's good. There's a few times where you're like, I don't know if I would have said that like that. Well, I'm not a professional. Am I? No, I'm just a lady with a flexible lighter. But it's about the Today Show. And Steve Carell plays what would be the Matt Lauer person. I don't know how I missed it during COVID. I watched everything. I thought you know why? Because it's on Apple TV. And they don't advertise enough. I didn't even know it was a show. Oh, my sister said it too. My sister loves it. So I'm halfway through. And then there was a guest appearance by who? Brett Butler. Stand-up comedian Brett Butler, who I haven't seen in quite some time. But I must say, she was somebody I loved as a young comedian watching in clubs because Brett did really smart shit. Her stand-up was smart, but Southern funny too. But it wasn't the typical, stereotypical female things. Like her stuff was, sometimes. Shoo, buddy, as Ron would say. But I loved watching it. And she does a great job playing a redneck mom. She's Reese Witherspoon's like kind of whatever, blue collar / redneck. There's a line in one of the scenes where Brett just turns around and goes, "You ruined dinner." And I was like, "Oh, rawr." So that's a little something if you're bored. Apple TV, Steve Carell, got a lot of big names. And there's a lot of moments in there where I go, okay, that wouldn't really happen because I've been on enough morning shows to know what's kind of going on there. But it's believable enough. Entertaining. Update!
How are your queens?
Oh, my queens. I forgot to talk about my queens. Well, I don't really have a lot of... I have some Dolly Christmas things that we'll get into later. But somebody sent me this, and it really is hilarious. On Twitter.
Shaka always has a smile. So does Dolly.
Yeah. Somebody Termite tweeted me this. It's a Twitter site at Cher doing things, and it's Cher reading her own tweets, and she doesn't understand them. But you can tell she's sincere. She's reading her tweets, and this is her own tweets, let's say, and she goes, "Is this mom? I don't know why I did that." Like, she doesn't really. She's funny though. It's very funny and entertaining, considering all the crap that's out there. So good for her. Everybody else has been very quiet. Stevie's quiet. She's promoting her Elton John song, but yeah, I'll never say terrible about Stevie. Why? Yeah, I don't know who wrote it. Anyway, update. We've talked about this, but not. I just threw it out there a couple times, but and yes, Paddles, you're gonna have to suffer through this one.
No.
Yep.
Don't do it.
I'm doing it.
No.
And I'm not gonna stop doing it till the goddamn trial's over. Okay?
No.
And it might take a long time because jurors keep getting kicked off for poor behavior. I love the one playing the Sudoku. I don't even say it right. Whatever. It'd be like me sitting there playing Tetris on Game Boy. Sudoku. You know what it is? That there's like a dyslexic thing when I read things like that. There's too many letters. That's why I tried it once. I truly am dyslexic with numbers. I don't know about letters. I just don't think I read right. Product of Missouri school system. Chaos. Well, Catholic school. I did some interview and the guy said, "Did they ever hit you in a Catholic school?" I go, "No, but I knew they could." I mean, I knew they'd been given permission. And I don't know how many of them are going to hit me, but I know how many are employed here. And there's a lot. Anyway, Elizabeth Holmes allegedly duped Betsy DeVos's family out of $100 million. Now, for a lot of people, this is only because I travel. I knew who Betsy DeVos was before Betsy DeVos became a thing because she married the Amway guy. Right. And when you go to Grand Rapids, Michigan, boom, right there. Amway. To which I was like, is this still a thing? And then they said, it's really big in India now.
Really?
Yeah. A lot of people. Mm-hmm. Tons of people. Because I don't really hear anybody saying it in the United States anymore. Like one of your friends that busts that shit out at a bar. "Hey, have you checked out these cleaning products? Shut up. We're at a bar." I saw a Tupperware car go by. I put it on Instagram. I'm like, you go. I thought my mom bought the last bowls. I did not know Tupperware still. I might become a Tupperware lady. Maybe I'll sell it after shows. Oh my God. Tupperware was dynamite. It was the best. The thing I didn't understand about Tupperware, though, is once you buy your Tupperware, you're done buying it. You don't need any more. It's that good. You don't need any more Tupperware. So how do they keep tricking young people? I still owe my nephew a wedding present. Maybe I'll send him Tupperware. Hey, Pat. Hey, Dara. Chiming in. Cousin Kathleen. Here's who Betsy DeVos is, just so you get an idea. She's the former Secretary of Education under Trump. She's known for her support of school choice, school voucher programs. She was a Republican National Committee woman. She's all Michigan all the time, right? She wants the Detroit chartered school system, former board of this and that. Here's the kicker. She's married to former Amway CEO Dick DeVos. Her brother Eric Prince is a former U.S. Navy SEAL, is the founder of Blackwater. Come on. Yeah. Hold, wait for it though. Their father is billionaire industrialist Edgar Prince, founder of the Prince Corporation. In 2016, the family was listed, by Forbes as the 88th richest family in America. Wow. Now, you always know those top 5 are going to be Walmart. So if you could kill them at their Thanksgiving, you could move up to 83 in one fell swoop. But you got to take them all out. They have an estimated $4.5 billion. Okay? Right, but $100 million is still a lot. I will say this about Betsy. On January 7th, the day after the insurrection, she tendered her resignation as Education Secretary as a result of the 2021 storming of the Capitol, saying to President Trump in her resignation letter, "There is no mistaking the impact your rhetoric had on the situation." Well, I'll give her credit. You know, Lot didn't say anything. They just sat there. She also, this is why Betsy ain't a good better. She's no Mattress Mack. This is why I can tell you this. She initially donated to Jeb Bush. I could have told you out of the gate. As soon as Trump started attacking him, you're boring, Jeb. Nobody likes you. Not even your family. And I thought, well, he ain't wrong. He is boring.
You're a low-quality person.
You're not even as smart as your brother, and everybody thought you were smarter, and you're not. You're an idiot. And then Jeb would just stand there like, can he do that? Yeah, he fucking can, and he's going to keep doing it. So I think it's time for you to go to your witty comeback meeting. And then she bet on Carly Fiorino. And then eventually supported Marco Rubio. 3 losing horses. She's not a good bettor. Then her and her husbands were producers for a Broadway show. It was called Scandalous, The Life and Trials of Amy Semple McPherson, based on the life of the famous evangelist and featuring a book and lyrics written by Kathy Lee Gifford. Oh, come on now. The show ran for 3 weeks, closing in December after receiving negative reviews. Shocking. How much money did you throw at that? God damn, they should let me come in there and help them with some football betting. I do better football betting than this. She grew widespread media attention during the confirmation hearing for suggesting that guns, I remember this, guns have a place in school, in some schools, due to threats from grizzly bears. She wanted, it's the big argument, should the teachers be armed?
Right.
Considering the school shootings and all that argument, which is never a fun argument to get in. But her defense of all of the teachers being armed, which some may not want to be, but she wanted them all armed, but she said it was in case of grizzly bears, because, you know,
There's
so many attacks.
in Michigan.
Montana, every week, there's a whole grade school eaten by one grizzly bear. Every week he comes in, and he's like, lunchtime. Yeah.
Alaska, maybe.
That's who Betsy is in a nutshell. Conservative, Michigan, bazillionaire. But to lose $100 million when you're only worth $5.4 billion, I'm sure it stings.
Yeah.
It's no fun. But here's why it's your own goddamn fault. Okay. Because I can be very lazy when it comes to reading directions or looking into things, except when it comes to serious money.
Right.
Like, well, I don't even really do that. No. If I like a house, if it wasn't for my dad, I would just buy it.
Right.
But he'd be like, well, have you checked anything? I'm like, no, but look at the bar. Look at the porch. Don't be a buzzkill, Dad. Don't come over here and tell me your bullshit about why I can't have it. But I don't have this kind of money that I would do this. Theranos founder Elizabeth Holmes, who's currently on trial for wire fraud, allegedly duped the former education staff of Harman. Daily Beast reports, get a load of this, that the DeVos family visited the Theranos headquarters. And what do we know about the Theranos headquarters? They're hiding shit, and they're putting out fake machines, and they're not letting you see things. They had a 5-hour meeting with Holmes and company president Sonny Balwani in 2014 before agreeing to invest $100 million. 5 hours. That's all. You went and listened to this. The report is based on testimony from the Holmes trial Lisa Peterson, who manages private equity investments for the DeVos family. The Holmes, Peterson testified that Holmes was handpicking uber-wealthy families to invest in the Palo Alto company. So she's basically doing the Bernie Madoff thing. It's exclusive, and I'm handpicking you, and other people aren't invited. So if you want to come to my party, just know
Here's what you're going to do.
the company, which claimed its portable blood testing devices could screen for scores of diseases with just a prick of a patient's fingers. But according to federal prosecutors, Holmes and Balwani knew their technology didn't work as advertised, even as they peddled it to consumers and high-powered investors. Shortly after the meeting, Peterson said, Peter and the DeVos family gathered in the Theranos parking lot to discuss their planned $50 million investment. 50 initially, which ultimately they doubled. Peterson reported that the DeVos family was impressed by the Theranos revenue projections of $140 million in 2014. This is their bullshit projection based on nobody checked. Based on what? And then they said in 2015 they'd make $990 million. And that she didn't realize the firm had zero income in 2012 and 2013. During cross-examination, Holmes's attorney, Lance Wade, impunged Peterson's due diligence in researching the company before donating. According to Law 360 reporter who's covering the trial, Peterson, the one in charge of the DeVos family, acknowledged the DeVos family investment firm never hired regulatory experts, counsel, or medical experts in the due diligence process because, quote, we didn't think we needed it. You didn't, oh,
You're arrogant.
where, it's arrogance also with part of the club. Yeah. We're the rich club. Mm-hmm. We don't fuck each other over. No. How do you not? Even I would say I got to see some financial records. Right. Well, I don't because I can't add. But I brought this man with me, my brother, and he's going to look at this and tell me if you're full of shit before I give you $100 million, $50 million in a parking lot. Right. Christ. People sell illegal dog breeds in parking lots. You don't give people, they sell drugs in parking lots. It's not fun. I know it's not funny, but down in the Ozarks, down by the dam, sometimes on the strip, there's always these super rednecks selling puppies. They shouldn't be selling them. Don't yell at me. Don't blame the messenger. Just saying what happens. But they never spell it right. Like Rottweilers, they cannot spell baby Rottweiler, puppy Rottweilers, and Rottweilers. Woo, hey. They've definitely never been to Yorkshire because they can't spell Yorkshire Terrier. It's all spelled wrong. Because one time my mom goes, I'd like to get one of those. I go, not there. Don't you dare. They can't spell it, Mom. Then you're not buying it. That's some mutant thing that was born under the front porch illegally. Shouldn't be doing it anyway. Update! Speaking of animals, this is bad. The owner of the 3 escaped zebras in Maryland has been charged with animal cruelty. We still haven't found the other 2. We still haven't found the cobra in Granbury, Texas. I'm the only one that gives a shit. Anybody in Grand Prairie, do you care? Nope. Every day I walked out to my car, I'd think I was going to get attacked by a cobra. And if it's a spitting cobra, they can stand up half the length of their body. So if it's an 8-foot-long cobra, it can rear up 4 feet, which is almost my height at this point. The owner of the 3 escaped zebras in Maryland has been charged with 3 counts of animal cruelty after one of the zebras was reported to have been discovered dead in a snare trap. Jerry Holly, the owner of an exotic animal breeding business in Upper Marlboro, Maryland, it's only 20 miles south of D.C., is accused of inflicting and authorizing unnecessary suffering or pain on a zebra, according to documents obtained by NPR. He was also charged with not providing adequate shelter or food. Each of the 3 misdemeanors carries a maximum penalty of 90 days in jail or a fine of $1,000. Well, that's not enough. If you're really, if he wasn't providing adequate, it's one thing if they escaped, but not give them shelter or food and you're in charge of raising them, that's not right. The charges were filed Tuesday, blah, blah, blah. The zebras at large have not received adequate food, water, or veterinary care. Well, they ran away. I don't know what he's supposed to do about that. One of the zebras died because it was at large. So it's all about his fencing, I would suppose. It's all about, he hasn't made any public statements. That's smart. They've been on the loose, and then we know about, for weeks, officials had left it to Holly's animal caretakers to capture the zebras, primarily by attempting to lure them back towards his property. Then last week, the county announced that one of the zebras had been dead in a snare trap on the private property. We know whose property. Girl Scouts. The use of snare traps is illegal in Prince George's County. The zebra had been dead long enough for his body to completely decompose. They were called by a third party. The body was found within 2 feet of the fence separating the property from Holly's farm. Well, why isn't he out looking by the fences? Yeah. The animal should have been seen or heard when it was dying, being caught in the snare if the caretaker had attended to the zebras in the fenced enclosure and most likely died of dehydration. Oh, it's very sad. Well, there's still 2 left. So, but if you're going to charge people with this kind of shit, it's got to be more than $1,000, right? Or 90 days in jail. Right. A lot of people would look at 90 days in jail as arrest.
What?
Well, just time to catch up on your thoughts. Time to catch up on your thoughts. Update! Well, sometimes I've thought of.
Need a timeout.
Well, sometimes I've thought about that. Sometimes when I get really road tired, and I'm like, when they go, so and so was sentenced to 30 days in jail, I'm like, well, you get to sleep a lot, catch up on sleep. Update. So last week, I told you, termites, that we have now proof that the Vikings were here 470 to 490 years before Columbus.
Right.
So we're going to have to change it to Viking Day. Ragnar, and Lagatha Day, if you watch Vikings. But here's another little update. Christopher Columbus is having a bad week. I hope he's okay in the afterlife. Italian sailors knew of America 150 years before Christopher Columbus, new ancient analyst of ancient documents suggest.
Wow.
Yep. New analysis of ancient writings suggests that sailors from the Italian hometown of Christopher Columbus knew about America 150 years before its renowned, quote, discovery, transcribing and detailing a circa 1345 document by a Milan friar, Galvinus Flamma. Medieval Latin, oh my God, there's a medieval Latin literature expert, Professor Paolo something, made an astonishing discovery of an exceptional passage referring to an area we know today is North America. The ancient essay, first discovered in 2013, suggested sailors from Genoa were already aware of this land, recognizable as Markland, they called it Markland, or Markalata, mentioned by some Icelandic sources and identified by scholars as part of the Atlantic coast of North America, usually assumed to be Labrador or Newfoundland. Again, Canada, but we're in North America.
Right.
And then it just goes into the guy's background. But they have proof. So now can we talk about it being Columbus Day?
They're already mad.
Everybody's mad.
Everybody's mad.
Everybody's mad. Everybody's mad about it. Here's a lady who's really mad. That's all my updates. We're moving on. News.
Come on, you gotta do it.
This is where I just don't. I guess I just never been a healthy person, nor was anybody in my family or anyone I knew. Strawberry Pop-Tarts are deceiving customers, new lawsuit claims. New York woman suing Kellogg's over fruit filling in strawberry Pop-Tarts.
What?
Okay, for real. And I'm going to read you about it.
She thought it was fruit.
Well,
Come on.
who thought it was real?
Let's talk about the icing.
Right, they don't have Pop-Tart shortcake in a restaurant
No.
and throw pieces of Pop-Tart on top of it.
That's ridiculous.
Here's what I know about Pop-Tarts. They can stay in your golf bag for a year and taste the same. Therefore, we know it's not real. It's junk, but it's fucking great.
It's awesome.
And a lot of them, when they say whatever kind of berries are inside, I don't expect it to really. And I actually,
Color berries.
out of all the ones I do, I think strawberry tastes the most real.
Yeah.
Well, my mom likes those cinnamon ones, but that's not fruit.
No, she gets jacked up on all kinds of stuff.
She gets jacked up. She gets jacked up about anything she can steal out of this house. Are you going to eat all that stuff in your cabinet? Well, that's why I bought it.
Do you have a bag?
Do you have a bag? I'm going to pack up some stuff your dad wants. You going to eat that pot roast in your freezer? I noticed it was here last time. What kind of coffee is this? You mind if I take some? No, go ahead. Take all the little things, Mom. Kellogg's, the maker of iconic Pop-Tarts, is facing a class action lawsuit over the contents of its strawberry-flavored sacks, according to USA Today. The company is being accused of misleading customers about exactly what goes into the filling of strawberry Pop-Tarts, which mostly contain fruits other than strawberries. Of course they're misleading us. I don't believe... He's right. I don't think Count Chocula is really chocolate.
No.
Gonna be having a bowl of that on Halloween. Anita Harris. Anita, how much free time do you have? Do you think you can win? Who filed the lawsuit? And what kind of person?
What are you looking for?
Well, this is what amazes me. Somebody ate a Pop-Tart and went, nope, I'm suing them. What?
Don't buy it.
No, I'm suing Kellogg's. That didn't taste like a strawberry. Of course it didn't. You know what a strawberry looks like? It's a fat thing that's got juice in it. Cut that Pop-Tart open. What do you see? Some solid, unknown gel. Yeah. The icing's so good, though.
Yeah, it's great.
And they're good hot or cold. That's what's great about a Pop-Tart. Throw them in your golf bag. You're starving on the 8th hole. I think I have a Pop-Tart.
Perfect.
Yeah, this is the kind of food Lewis always says he won't eat until we're in the middle of the golf course and he's fucking starving and there's no food. How about a Pop-Tart, Senor Blanc? She claims that promoting strawberries as a primary ingredient in the name of the product and accompanying marketing materials, the company's creating an impression among consumers that there's a greater relative and absolute amount of strawberries in the product than is true. She claims she had she known the truth, she wouldn't have purchased the Pop-Tarts.
Come on.
You've got to leave America then.
You gotta go.
Nothing in the grocery store is real, except in the produce part or meat, the beef counter, the meat counter, seafood. The stuff in the aisles, not real.
No.
Is this really a Funyun? What the fuck is a Funyun? None of it's all made up.
Yep.
Eat at your own risk. The ingredient listed on the back, I'll try to act serious. The ingredient, you want me to read it like NPR? You have to have really sad music in the background of a guitar. The ingredient list on the back of Strawberry Pop-Tarts box states there is 2% or less of apples, pears, strawberries in the product. Well, I don't even want apples or pears.
No.
I don't like pears at all. And if I wanted apple Pop-Tarts, I'd buy goddamn apple Pop-Tarts. Right? Which is less than one might assume when buying something strawberry flavored. Additionally, Harris claims that the snack cannot provide a true strawberry taste.
What?
I don't care whatever the taste is. It's wonderful.
Exactly.
Stop. This is un-American. Additionally, since it's overwhelmed by significant amounts of pears and apples, which are inferior to strawberries when it comes to health benefits. The company, she says, enhanced the perception of the strawberry flavored with red food coloring. Of course it was food coloring.
Yes.
Do I think the Count Chocula people or the Fruit Loop people really melted fruit to make the Fruit Loop color? No.
She's looking for nutrition.
Somebody else filed it too. But hold on, I'm gonna they want $5 million in damages.
Come on.
You know what? It's one thing if you say Subway's not bread because an Irish court ruled on that.
Right.
But I kind of knew that too. It tasted like sponge. It tastes like a sponge. I never ate their bread anyway. Basically, Shane, the product's name, this is what they're actually called. I never paid attention. I just know the box. Whole grain frosted strawberry toaster pastries. It's misleading because it includes strawberry, blah, 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 blah. $5 million.
Wow.
The lawsuit, here's what the lawsuit says. Reasonable customers must and do rely on a company to honestly identify and describe components, attributes, and features of a product. No, I don't. Relative to itself and other comparable products or alternatives. By labeling the product in this manner, defendant gained an advantage against other companies and against consumers seeking to purchase a product and with more of the named ingredient than it contained. So who are they getting a leg up on?
Right.
There's no other kind of Pop-Tart I'd buy, except the ones we all know about. The value of the product that the plaintiff purchased was materially less than its value as represented by the defendant. Defendant sold more of the product and at higher prices. It would have been in the absence of this misconduct, resulting in additional profits at the expense of the consumer. Okay, I can't even.
Wow.
Yeah. You know, what is the matter with this country?
Right.
There's people in other countries that literally have no food. They'd love a Pop-Tart.
Right.
So I say, in my old joke about immigration, instead of doing it the way we do, we turn it into a reality show where we bring vote people in, vote people out.
Yep.
I'm voting Anita out, and I'm getting somebody from a country who's never had a Pop-Tart. Right. And I'm going to give them a Pop-Tart and go, you want in? You get her spot. We're so spoiled.
I don't really think there's enough strawberries in that.
Wow.
This is a great story. I can't wait for this movie. And I saw a lot of pictures online, and it's all real. Story of Poland's soldier bear, Wojtek, turned into a film.
How do you hear about this shit?
Well, I already knew about the bear. My dad taught me about the bear. I know everything about World War II. There's nothing, I wouldn't say nothing, but let's just say if it comes up at Applebee's trivia, I'm in. And I'm going to dominate.
Read your title.
I'm going to win my
Believe
free,
you know this.
when Wojtek Narbreski was called to see his new commanding officer in what was the British Mandate of Palestine in October of 1942, he was in for a very big surprise. I was very astonished because in front of his tent was lying a bear, Mr. Norbisky says, thinking back 7 decades ago. Thus began a 3-year friendship between Wojtek the bear and the 17-year-old Polish soldier. They really used him. He carried ammunition and everything.
What?
Yeah. The bond between the two was strengthened by the fact that they shared the first name, as the diminutive form of Wojtek is the Polish for Wojtek. I don't know. We'll just call him Wojtek. He'll never hear this podcast. He can't be offended. A few months before the meeting, his namesake, Wojtek the bear, was sold as a small cub to some Polish soldiers and civilians in Iran. They were making their way from Siberia to the Middle East after being released from camps in Russia. The Nazi-German invasion in 1941 prompted the Soviet Union to let the Poles go. So the Polish soldiers, it was thought that the cub's mother was shot by hunters. So they got him when he was a cub. He was like a child, like a small dog. He was given milk from a bottle like a baby. So therefore he felt the soldiers are nearly his parents, and therefore he trusted us and was very, very friendly. He was adopted by what became known as the 22nd Artillery Supply Command of the Polish Corps. So the Polish soldiers had him. He was really feeling like a member of our small military family, says Mr. Norepsky. The 86-year-old professor of geochemistry and petrology has traveled from his home in Krakow, Poland, to London for the UK premiere documentary, Wojtek, the Bear That Went to War. The film is narrated by so-and-so and consists of a mixture of interviews, reconstructions, contemporary stills, and animation. It recounts the epic wartime journey to Scotland made by Wojtek and his comrades in arms as they supplied the front line. It took them to Iraq and Egypt, and when they wanted to take the bear on a ship to Italy, he had to be officially enlisted as a soldier. So great. He had a pay book. He had a pay book. He didn't receive money, but was officially a Polish soldier. Because of his size, he had double the rations.
Oh my God. Wow.
They said Wojciech liked play fighting and boxing with his colleagues and asking for unlit cigarettes, which he would eat. Maybe he liked tobacco. He also had a liking for beer. For him, one bottle was nothing. He weighed 444 pounds. He didn't get drunk. He was not a danger to human. He was very quiet, very peaceful. However, he did take a dislike to a monkey and another bear who had been adopted by other troops. He kept up our morale for people who are far from families, far from their home. From a psychological viewpoint, it was very important. Then they talk about the film. It's a story of war, a story of love, a story of loss. The fact that he thought of himself as human, so the legend has it, I think it asks some very interesting question about what it is to be human. In one interview, a British veteran tells how he was taken aback one day to see a 6-foot bear carrying shells during the Battle of Monte Cassino in Italy. The company emblem became a picture of Wojtek carrying shells. Yeah, he's supplying the line. Go for him. Oh my God. One summer's day when they were driving along Italy's coast near Ancona, Wojtek spotted the sea. He jumped out and went to the beach. And on the beach, there were many Italian girls taking a bath. You can imagine what happened. I said, girls, don't be afraid. The bear is very friendly. Yeah. This guy last saw him in Italy before the battle, some big battle in 1945. After the war, his company broke up in Scotland, and he was taken to live at the Edinburgh Zoo, where some of the ex-troops would visit him. That's fine. Yeah. They wanted to take him to a zoo in Poland, but my colleagues who were staying in Scotland were against this. It was very pleasant for me to see and think about him. I felt like he was my older brother. However, he died in 1963. So come on, that's going to be a great documentary.
I can't believe you knew this.
I can't wait. There's a picture that they have tons of photographs of him. It was real.
I'm sure it was.
You don't look like you believe me.
I can't believe you know this. Nobody knows this.
My dad I watched every World War II movie, and then my dad would know things like that and then tell me crazy things. And he probably made half of them up, but I believed them all. That was one of them. Look, it was true. Maybe he didn't make anything up. The termite sent me this one because I hadn't seen it. I don't know what I think about it. in my desperate search for better transportation, as you know, I have a problem with the fact nothing's changed in my lifetime. There's a startup company in Japan for basically $780,000. They want you to swap your car for what is called a hoverbike. And I watched a video of it. Picture a motorcycle on a platform or a wave runner, because more like a wave runner. Yeah, but the platform's like flat, and you put that on there, and then you fly, and it flies. I mean, it's real.
Would you do it?
Would I do it? No, not yet. Well, I can't even ride a real bicycle, more or less a motorcycle. I just fall. I'm klutzy. I can do a wave runner. I can drive a wave runner pretty good. Electronics giant Mitsubishi and footballer somebody are the backers of the Tokyo-based company. Wow. It can fly. The hoverbike can fly for 40 minutes up to 162 miles an hour on a single charge. They claim to have manufactured, the company aims to have manufactured 200 single rider ones by mid-2022. It's a conventional engine and a 4-power battery motor. I don't know. What if your battery goes dead in the air? Do you just fall? I don't know. Yeah. Until now, the choice of overcrowding is a big problem in Tokyo with 13 million residents. The high-tech is the most popular metropolitan. Yeah, we know. Current laws will prohibit hoverbikes from flying over Japan's busy roads, although they hope rescue teams can use them to reach inaccessible areas. They want them to go out in the country, basically. It would not be considered roadworthy under new current UK laws. Well, I think they're trying to block all this stuff. They don't want people just flying crazy shit in the air. Right. But that's how we progress. True. Come on. Yep. We'll put it in the show notes, but go look at it. I'd be afraid, yeah, I wouldn't do it. But I won't get on a motorcycle. I mean, come on. I'm the worst person to ask. I don't even want to get on a motorcycle on the ground. Okay. All right. This is worth it. Okay. Well, because I always say I don't love to talk about sports. I love sports. Some people like it, but other people, it's very foreign to them. It'd be like talking about Broadway to me. Fuck if I know. No, I don't know it. Me and Stevie Nicks. We hate musicals. Yes. Well, she likes, I almost called it Wizard. Come on, what's the popular one? Wicked. Right, Wicked. And I still love The Sound of Music. So Stevie and I have one exception, and the rest of it, I just think I'm a literal person, and I don't believe people will break into song like that. No. It's fucking weird. Like, if somebody did that, I would very slowly back away and get in my car. So, but anyway, this is just so crazy, and everybody in St. Louis could have told you, but nobody listened to the warnings. Nobody gave a shit because everybody just wants what they want. This is just epic, classic. Stan Kroenke, owner of the current Los Angeles Rams, also every other sports team you've ever heard of in Colorado, Arsenal in England, the soccer, football, whatever. Los Angeles Rams owner Stan Kroenke, he's getting ready to screw over all the other NFL owners. He's going to just fuck them, and he doesn't care. He's challenging an indemnification agreement about who would foot the bill for an ongoing lawsuit tied to the franchise's relocation, according to ESPN's so-and-so. In 2017, the city of St. Louis County, Missouri, and the St. Louis Regional Convention and Sports Complex Authority filed suit against the Rams, alleging the team and the NFL didn't properly honor its obligations ahead of the Rams' move to LA. Okay. That is true. And I'm telling you this not just because I'm from St. Louis, but this could happen to anybody. Warning, red flag, red flag. Kroenke promised to cover tens of millions of dollars in legal expenses for other NFL teams, but now is attempting to walk back that decision. So he told them when they said, look, if we go through with this shit, it's going to be a very big problem. And there's going to be a ton of lawsuits. And he was like, I got it. Just let me go to L.A. No worries, man. I got it. Now he's going to leave. Regardless of the lawsuit's outcome, it could lay bare the NFL's hidden secrets. The Missouri Supreme Court ruled in 2019 that the league and officials and team owners would have to turn over cell phone records dating back 8 years as part of the lawsuit. So what Stan's got him over a barrel because he's like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to pay it. Right. You know, if we don't pay it, you guys are going to have to show up with 8 years of stuff, financial things, phone records. So now they're caught in a corner. In September, the court denied an appeal by the defendants requiring them to continue disclosing detailed financial information. They don't want people to know what they got. Beyond the legal aspects, the ESPN guy detailed how lingering frustrations from a contentious relocation could be exposed. Hold on. Because there's more to this than... Because it involves other owners and what sides they're on. Okay, so there was a legal update, this is last week, from NFL General Counsel Jeff Pash during the owners' first in-person meeting since December of 2019. He stunned many in the room. The league, according to accounts from the people who were there and others briefed on the proceedings, the Rams and other owners are embroiled in a fierce 4-year lawsuit with St. Louis, blah, 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 which we know. The case has entangled all 32 teams and cost millions of dollars in legal fees to which this point have been mostly covered by Kroenke under an indemnification agreement he signed as part of the relocation. But now he's going to fight that. And he's going to say it's not legitimate. For some of the teams, the bills have run into 8 figures. Although Kroenke has been in discussions with the league for some time over the scope of the agreement, owners first learned of a shift in his position several hours before Tuesday's meeting at the Intercontinental New York Barclay Hotel. Wow. This guy delivered all the news that stands. ESPN sources told you Kroenke stood and told the room that he had vested it in the league. He'd done everything the league had asked him to do, and he apologized for the ongoing lawsuit, but argued it wasn't his fault. Kroenke took a few questions. Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones, a fierce Kroenke advocate. So there's 2 Kabuls in this. There's Jones, Kraft, New England, Stan, Team A. I'm not sure who else is on it. Team B, I know, is Mark Davis, the Raiders, and the guy from the Giants. They're not on board with all this bullshit because the Raiders guy said he wanted a Raiders-Chargers stadium, and they screwed him and gave it to Kroenke. In an unusual move, Kroenke took questions. Jerry Jones, we know, told the room that Kroenke had done a lot for the league. That's all you got, Jerry? Well, I mean, he's been pretty good, you know. Then in an unusual move, cool. Goodell, who should have been fired.
Ray Rice.
Yeah, Ray Rice. Ooh. And then Stephen Smith after Ray Rice hits the lady. You know, ladies, you got to think about what you're saying. What? How much money does Disney have in Stephen A. Smith that you can say something like that and not get fired? Goodell asked Kroenke to leave the room, and he did it. That's when Parrish told the room that the league was notified by Kroenke's attorneys that Kroenke's challenging the indemnification agreement and that all 3 teams involved in the L.A. Derby, the Rams, Chargers, and Raiders, signed on the morning of the vote. Wow. Oh, yeah, it goes on and on. Raiders owner Mark Davis reminded the room that in 2016, the LA committee recommended a rival Raiders Charger Stadium project in Carson, which is not where the new one is, by 5-1 vote over Kroenke's project in Inglewood. Mara, that's the guy from New York, spoke next and said that Kroenke's change in position was ridiculous and that if Kroenke had not agreed to indemnify the league, the owners wouldn't have voted for him to move. Wow. Yeah. He said anyone who was in the room in Houston when that vote was taken would have known that. Right. Yeah, the billionaires just eating each other alive.
It's fun.
Anyway, St. Louis but here's the problem for St. Louis. Well, we talked about what I would do with the money. But if they offer us a team, where are they going to play? Now we got to build them a new goddamn stadium. I would say, though, if I'm the St. Louis people that are involved in this, not only do we want a team, we want a new stadium. And you're going to build it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
You're going to build it. And if you build it, they will come. Because the old Edward Jones Dome downtown, that won't be fancy enough or probably up to standards. Really hold them over a barrel. We want an expansion team, and you're going to build us a new stadium. That's what you get for being jerks and running away. Okay, I won't go any further because it's a lot of detail. But that's a good. See, I dumbed that down.
I like it.
There's a lot of reading involved in that to dumb that down for the average person. Okay, this is great. I have so much fun. Some weeks it's just not as much fun. But this week,
A lot of fun.
and I really want to see a real show about this. And the only thing I can find about it is a comedy. And this is not a comedy. The FBI is revealing new details about a $31 million counterfeit coupon scheme. Is it coupon or coupon?
Ask Ron.
Coupons. I say coupon.
Coupon?
Yeah,
Coupon.
coupon. That's a Midwest thing.
Coupon.
Oh, shit, Mom's got coupons. It's going to take forever. Not coupon. Coupon. Whatever.
Yep.
It's a coupon scheme that landed a Virginia Beach couple in prison for nearly 20 years.
Oh, wow.
I know. I'm like, what? How do you? In a press release, the agency said that investors found fake coupons in every crevice of the house belonging to Lori Ann Talons and her husband, Pacifico Talons Jr. The falsified savings were worth more than $1 million, just the ones they found in the house. They also found designs for coupons for more than 13,000 products on Lori Ann Talon's computers. She trained herself in the different techniques needed to manipulate barcodes and make these coupons work. Wow, they fucking worked. I thought she was selling fake ones. Special agent so-and-so said, the lady is considered the mastermind of the scheme, would create fake coupons with discounts, quote, near or even over the item's retail value. During a search of the home, they found thousands of coupons, rolls of coupon paper, and coupon designs for more than 13,000. She didn't use the fraudulent coupons for herself. She sold them to subscribers that found her on social media and communicated with them using an encrypted message app. Jesus, the stuff people come up with.
A lot of work.
I think about going to get the mail, then I'm like, nope, I'll get it tomorrow. Like, there's nothing in there I want. Like, I should go clean the boat seats. They're getting weird. And then, no.
There's always spring.
I'm going to wait till spring. I really am. I don't even, they're just going to get weird in the winter anyway. She was paid more than $400,000 in digital currency, such as Bitcoin, and sometimes exchanged coupons for stolen rolls of the special paper stores used to print the coupons. The 3-year scheme was discovered by the Coupon Information Corporation, which received a tip that someone was making and mailing fraudulent coupons. One group of manufacturers says it lost $125,000 from fake coupons linked to Talons. In September, she was sentenced to 12 years in prison for perpetrating a counterfeit coupon fraud scheme that amounted to $32 million in losses for retailers and manufacturers, according to the Department of Justice. Her husband was sentenced to 7 years because he was aware of and profited from the scheme also. Wow. They were accused of, this is what they did with the money. This is always the mark of a redneck. Instead of like something, they just did house renovations, built a new pool. Hot tub, you know they got a hot tub. That's a sign of success. And remodeled the kitchen. She was deeply ashamed of her actions. This is what I want to see a movie about. And there is one. It's called Queen Pins. But it says it's a comedy. I want to see the real, maybe Dateline. I'll wait for Dateline. I'll wait for Keith Morrison. This is important. America. America loves to-go cocktails. Yes, we do. This state won't allow them anymore.
Boo.
Hold on. As more I'm always amazed when I'm in a to-go cocktail state. Really? Yeah. Because most aren't. So, like, if you're in Nashville at the airport and you say, can I take my beer to the gate? They go, yeah. I'm shocked.
Of course.
New Orleans? Yeah, no problem. As more Americans get vaccinated, sometimes it's weird to me when the bartender will go, I'll leave half the beer because I got to go. And he'll be like, you want to take it with you? Yes, I do. Didn't know I could. As more Americans get vaccinated, states across the country are lifting their pandemic restrictions. That means that one popular relief measure, the allowance of to-go cocktails at restaurants, is either expiring or continuing, depending on where you live. National Restaurant Association counted about 26 states, most of the ones that permitted to-go cocktails during the pandemic, that have opted to allow the program to continue. Here's where this is going to go through spring. Georgia and Texas, you're making it to spring to go cocktails. Colorado, 2025.
What?
Yep, you can still get your. Massachusetts and Virginia, stretched into next year. But others took a very different route. And I'd like to call that sad road. Yes. New York officially ended its state of emergency, and with it, beloved cocktail deliveries.
What?
Yeah.
Come on.
They're not doing it anymore.
Ridiculous.
It's one of a small number of states that have let the provision expire or are still deciding how to proceed. Pennsylvania's provision has also expired, but lawmakers may reinstate it. Yeah. Yeah. That's a lot about New York. We don't need to know all this about New York. But I'm just saying, you need to check your laws. Sad times.
New York is ridiculous.
Well, New York is ridiculous that they're the, quote, city that never sleeps, and then you go to the airport to try to get a drink. Like, you don't know where I came from. Don't judge. You don't know what time it is to me. What is it, Sundays? 10? Noon? In New York.
Yep.
At, I don't know, for sure, LaGuardia.
Everywhere.
Well, Newark's New Jersey. So sometimes you fly out of Newark. I do. Yeah, I mean, you're the city that never sleeps. Well, clearly you sleep on Sunday morning. Nobody's out drinking. You got to see a picture of this. Next story. An Israeli scuba diver, this is crazy, has salvaged an ancient sword. Wait till you see the picture. Yep.
Fantastic.
Trove of ancient artifacts, including the diver was about 170 yards off the coast in 5 feet deep of water when he made the discovery. Experts say the area provided shelter for ancient ships. It's home to many archaeological treasures, some dating back 4,000 years. But such discoveries can be elusive because of the constantly shifting sands. Fearing his discovery might be buried, the diver took the sword ashore and delivered it to government experts. How nice is that guy? A lot of people would just run. It was found and encrusted with marine organisms, but is apparently made of iron. It's inciting to encounter such a personal object, taking you 500 years back in time to a different era with knights, armor, and swords. The sword is to be cleaned. Yeah, you can't. It is so covered in barnacles and stuff. The picture of it, you're like, ooh, I would have had gloves. I don't know. The diver, Shlomi Katzin, was given a certificate of appreciation for good citizenship. Well, good for him. As a normal human, I don't think you could get this shit off this sword anyway. You'd need a little help from somebody who knows what they're doing, so you probably got to, But he should get more than that.
Yeah.
What's the sword worth? Give him some money. Give him a gift certificate. Applebee's. I'm sure Israel has one.
Probably.
All right. I've been saying I'm going to do it the whole time, so I'm going to do it. This is a little hard, but we've had a lot of silly. I kept saying I'd talk about the Pandora Papers. Okay? It's complicated, but I'm going to dumb it down. Okay. More than 600 journalists in 117 countries have been trawling through files from 14 sources for months, finding stories that are being published this week. The data was included, it doesn't matter. Basically, it's the super rich and how they're hiding their money. Mm-hmm. It's legal.
For now.
I don't think it's
Ethical.
I don't think it's the right thing to do. Mm-hmm. But I think when you're super rich, you're not paying attention anymore, and business managers are doing all these crazy things. And Elton John, Ringo Starr, Shakira. Her hips don't lie. So far this year, she's been charged with tax problems and was attacked by a wild boar that took her phone.
It's a bad year.
Yeah, but she still looks like Shakira, so it's a good time to be Shakira. The Pandora Papers often glimpsed of the tangle web of offshore accounting and alleged tax avoidance schemes used by some of the world's wealthiest people. It's just another pile of horseshit. They're not paying taxes, and we all are. We're the dummies. Yeah, and people don't even realize it because I perform in every state. I have to file in every state. It is a goddamn nightmare. And it never ends. Like, thank God I have an accountant, Sherry, who's the best lady in the world. Because I always panic when I get these letters. West Virginia says I owe him $38. If I don't pay it, I'm going to go to prison somewhere in Morgantown. And she's always like, Kathleen, just send it back. Don't worry about it. I'm like, this is bullshit. They've sent it 100 times. We paid it. I know. Those things go out automatically. She's very calming. Very calming. Because I go crazy because my dad was self-employed and he always made me think, the IRS is... Yeah, I could be arrested at any moment. Just going up to Speedway to get a lottery ticket. I could be arrested by IRS agents for doing nothing. I do the right thing. So we're all doing our tax shit. And these people, they're moving it offshores and shell companies, all the things you've seen about. But it's not been exposed by whomever found all the crap online. They said they're fully transparent companies. So yes, is it legal? Yeah. But are you doing... So I don't know. People will say, if it's legal, I'm doing it. That's their fault for not thinking of it. Right. I would say I should pay taxes where I live. It's Catholic guilt thing. Right. It's not even that I'm morally superior. It's just I would feel like shit. And I don't want to feel like shit. Right. If we're going to have shitty roads, I want to know that my money went to that.
I'll get on board with that.
And here's where some of them are stashing it. This is what's crazy. The world's rich and powerful are stashing $500 billion. $500 billion wow. in this tax haven. No billionaires in Brioni Tuck. What? Brioni Tuck. Into the gravy-drenched roast beef sandwich at the diner. No dark-windowed Escalades cruise past the... Oh, okay, here we go. Sorry. I forgot. This is chopped up. So this is where the $500 billion. Mm-hmm. And I have been here. I did not see signs of $500 billion. There's no telling where the vast fortunes hide. Oh, this is like a Keith Morrison thing. I'll try to do that. There's no telling where the vast fortunes hide. On trees softened in Phillips Avenue here in Sioux Falls.
What?
No, Sioux Falls, South Dakota. No billionaires in Brioni Tuck. Into the gravy-drenched roast beef sandwich at the diner. No dark windowed Escalades cruise past the Child's Play store, where the owner sports a pin that proclaims her a glow-getter. Yet the money is here, mind-boggling some of it. Along this avenue in South Dakota is the wider world discovered one sunny day in October. Pretty good, right? Really good. Somehow millions of... Oh, I got to go back to it. I can't keep doing that. I don't know how he does that all the time. It's too hard. It's too hard. I know. I have to be calm and I can't do it. Somehow millions of private financial records known as the Pandora Papers have landed in the hands of journalists. They laid out how the wealthy and powerful with checkered past... Well, I don't think Elton John has a checkered past. I don't think we have to say that about everybody. No. Maybe his outfits. Yeah. I applaud those. His glasses. They're all fabulous. It's how they exploit the financial system to store assets. One of their favorite spots, Sioux Falls. And it's because of all the crazy laws. I'm not going to read it because it's too crazy. And a lot of people, too financially crazy to understand all the ins and outs of how you can. There's a few things, though, I did understand. It's a lot of their laws are just legal, but different. It's also about like passing on estates. Around 4 decades, the state adopted a few key laws that caught the financial industry's attention. One eliminated the cap on interest rates for lending. Okay. Another allowed trust to last forever, so-called dynasty trust. So there we take the inheritance tax argument out of it because you have a dynasty trust. Right. But not everybody allows it, but they do. The latter, coupled with the state's zero income tax, made South Dakota an attractive spot for anyone wanting to pass assets for future generations without triggering estate taxes, also known as what? Inheritance tax. Every time they fight about the inheritance tax, all I do is laugh and go, who's inheriting shit? You know what I'm going to end up with? A broken wave runner. And then it's going to be, Who's going to pay to take it to the dump? And do we know anybody that can get it out of the lake? Because we don't have a trailer, because nobody ever bought the goddamn trailer. So,
Because they bought it at a bar.
yeah, no kidding. Inheritance tax. My parents are spending every nickel to the last dime. I actually said to my brother, how much money do you think they really have? He's like, I don't really know. I mean, it depends on how long they live. I go, right. That's what I'm looking for. At what age do we have to kill them? Because when does it go into super debt?
Super debt.
They're fine. Anyway, since then, the legal latitude for trust has gradually been extended, drawing clients from near and far. It's not the South Dakota most people know, the homesteader state with its vast farmlands, badlands, and Mount Rushmore, which, by the way, if you've never been to Deadwood, go. It was, and you have to watch Deadwood. I think it was on HBO first. And then when you go, you can't believe it's all still exactly like that. It is just wonderful if you like history in the West and all that stuff. The cattle and hogs out here outnumber citizens by a factor of 6. It has no members in the Bloomberg Billionaires Index of the world's richest 500 people, but it spurred periodic and fleeting bursts of attention by news outlets. Yeah, you don't want this attention. I don't, but if you're ever driving through Sioux Falls to get to Deadwood or Mount Rushmore or whatever, just know $500 billion invested there. Mm-hmm. Okay, we got through that.
I liked it. That was great.
Well, it's not easy peasy. Speaking of the Homesteading Act, what did I just quote? Whatever act. I keep saying, because I traveled every nook and cranny of this country, and like I see how crowded the Northeast is. And sometimes I don't know if the people in the Northeast know how crowded they are. Like, do you guys ever go to Kansas? Not that you would have a reason, per se, to go to Kansas. But I keep thinking, especially with everybody being able to work, not everybody, but a lot of people being able to work virtually, we need to shift people, young people, because people with kids and mom and dad are sick. You know, people my age aren't going to do it. But if you could get young people and offer them tax incentives from places that are super duper crowded, even in the city of Chicago, for instance, there are towns outside of Chicago, like an hour and a half away, that are adorable. There's a main street, everything's intact, but there's nobody there. And I'm driving through them, Upper Peninsula, Michigan. Boom, driving up from Green Bay. Look at this cute town. It looks like a movie set, but there's nobody there. So we start shifting people, and you give them tax breaks. If you can work from home, can you come live here? And then I don't know, give them 10 grand, something but it has to be a federal program to shift people out of, we just keep getting more crowded in certain areas where you're like, okay, Atlanta, we have reached maximum capacity traffic.
You are not worth it.
Atlanta, when I'm done with traffic, I'm still in Atlanta. I didn't even get anywhere. I'm still in Atlanta. I should at least be in Augusta or Columbus, Georgia, somewhere. I mean, Atlanta's tons of fun. But with the traffic, it makes you want to, So there's a company that's saying how the 1862 law could revitalize rural America, revisiting the Homestead Act. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. It just didn't have the language for it. Could support rural communities in decline and help mitigate climate change in the process. Yeah, I don't know about all that. I'm just talking about get people. There's so many. Southern Missouri, Steelville, Missouri, for instance. It used to be a steel mill. There's no, it's done. Iron, all that, done. We're not doing that anymore. But the town's still there. And you're like, look at that building. That's adorable. There's a company that's trying to, Italy's doing it. I read about it all the time. Come buy a house for $1. So Italy's rural Calabria region announced, I think I talked about this, an innovative project to breathe new life into its small towns. It plans to offer young professionals thousands of dollars if they move in and commit to launch a business, preferably a business that community needs. That's fine too. Open a coffee shop. Whatever you like to do it. But yes, if I was president, along from we're going to a 3-day work week. What?
And Pop-Tarts for everyone.
4-day work week. 3-day if we can. Iceland made it on 4. We can make it on 3.
3.5.
All right, I thought this was crazy. I'm not going to end on this, but Michael Jordan's rookie season shoes, tennis shoes, Nikes, sold for $1.47 million. So not only did you buy shoes that are used and dirty and probably have stink foot, they're also probably not your size. So can you imagine your husband or wife, honey, I'll spend $1.5 million today on shoes that don't fit and they stink. Okay, great. That's so great. Let's put them in a glass thing so we can't smell them.
A Tupperware.
Nike Air shoes were what Jordan played in before Nike gave him his own line of clothing and clothes, which would later become a household brand. It's his first rookie season. They're white and red. They have a picture of them. Yeah, $1.47 million. They're a remarkable artifact in the history of sports and basketball and kept in excellent condition by the Denver Nuggets ball. What? By the Denver Nuggets ball boy they were originally gifted to. Wow. Mr. Tommy Tim the Third Lewis. That's hard. It's a hard name. Tommy Tim. They were sold in Las Vegas at Sotheby's. And he lost his initial game to the Denver Nuggets. So I guess the ball boy got the shoe. But yeah, Jordan gave the size 13 shoes to the ball boy, Tommy Tim the Third Lewis, after the game.
That's nice.
Yeah. The auction broke the previous record of a pair of Nike Air Jordans selling for $560,000 last year. So somebody got a pair of stink foot shoes that didn't fit for half that price, more than half that price.
Stink shoes.
Let me find something good to end on. I have a lot of stuff. This is I'll save that. I'll save that. Save that. I'll save those. This is a moral question. We're going to end on somebody doing the right thing. Yeah, I think so. J.D. Salinger. Everybody know him? The author. Yep. Mm-hmm. The potentially last chance to hear J.D. Salinger's voice on tape. Oh, I got something else to end on. My Bobcat thing.
What?
Yeah. Not a real Bobcat. The comedian. Bobcat. The potentially last chance to hear J.D. Salinger's voice on tape is set to go up in smoke, according to the woman who recorded him. Betty Epps is in possession of the only known recording of author J.D. Salinger's voice, but she is promising to never release it and has even updated her will to say it will be placed along with her body in the crematorium. She was a reporter for the Baton Rouge Advocate in 1980 when she managed to land an interview with the famously reclusive Catcher in the Rye author, who at that point hadn't given an interview in 3 decades. I mean, he got weird.
Yeah.
He shut down. But somehow this lady from the Baton Rouge Advocate scored the interview. Wow. But as Bloomberg explains, Epps described herself to him as a novelist, not a journalist, and she didn't tell him she would be taping their conversation using a deposit box for years, and Epps never plans to release it, citing her regrets how she obtained the recording. She was reportedly turned down several offers for tape over the years. Over one interested foreign party was ready to pay $500,000. Wow. This is a moral thing now.
Yeah.
In the years after I did it, I came to regret it. Terribly, terribly. I've spent many, many, many hours a day thinking about this, and of course it means an awful lot to me. Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and think I stole that. I stole his voice. You know, that's like stealing somebody's soul, right? The tape is not mine to give herself.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Good.
For her. As Rocky Laporte would say, go for you.
Ooh.
Go for you, cat.
Well done, Kat.
We're going to end this, termites, with a little quote from my comedian pal, Bobcat Goldthwait. Now, he's not normally one that people would think would be quoted, but he's smarter than shit. Because there's a lot of fighting going on in comedy these days with what you can say. Is it, I got to pull it up on here. Is it freedom of speech? Are you being mean? Blah, blah, blah. I don't believe in cancel culture. I believe in consequence culture. Always have said that. It's all about money. If you're making people money, you enough money, and you're not a pain in the ass, you won't get canceled. It's about money. I've never seen anybody get canceled that was making shitloads of money that didn't cause other problems. It might not be monetary. It might be strife, stress, bad press. There's a penalty if you're going to incur a penalty. Bob Goldthwait on cancel culture. He said, I actually don't believe there's a cancel culture. It just reminds me of like in the 80s when a shock jock would get fined by the FCC or get in trouble with management or a sponsor. Yes. How many of those were there? Because they'd purposely say fuck or something, and then they'd get fined, and they'd be like, this is bullshit, freedom. No, you had rules. Right. You signed a contract. There were rules. You broke the rules. Right. Ugh. They would say, I'm getting killed by the man, and then that person's fans would rally behind them, and they would end up making millions of dollars. Absolutely. I could name you 10 in the 80s. It went all the way through the 90s. When people use the term cancel culture, it's just a way of people marginalizing marginalized groups, and it gives permission to their audience to feel like they're the victims. No one's freedom of speech is being taken away. Correct. All these millionaires are going to keep on making millions of dollars. Correct. It boils down to a millionaire and a major corporation versus people who are being murdered and have a high rate of suicide. And I think he means the trans community on that one. I'm not 100% sure. Which side do you think I'm going to be on? I'm going to be on the side of the marginalized people. I've always considered myself to be an outsider, you know? I don't really consider myself to be an outsider, but Bobcat's a little stranger. But, yeah, this is just about money, right. You know? So all the people that are whining about cancel culture, well, I think I know that from a Catholic school. There's consequences to your behavior. Yeah. Do it at home. Yell it at home out loud all you goddamn want. But once somebody's paying you, or you're an employee, or there is money attached, there's going to be consequences.
Totally. Good for him. Way to say it out loud.
Yeah, and it was said well, and it's the debate that isn't even a debate. It's just exhausting.
This is my freedom of speech.
Yeah, say whatever you want.
Right.
Say whatever you want. I can say whatever I want, but you know, it's a good thing nobody's paying me for this podcast. I'm beholden to no one. No one. Look at me. I have a Bucky shot glass with peanut whiskey in it. Don't listen to me. If you're listening to me, that's on you. That's on you. I have a beer from Sheboygan. Lays fake Funyuns. And some Hellman's hot dipping sauce. Nice. That's all I got. Candles lit. I would like to thank Mr. Ron White because I dog sat for his dog. He brought me a very cute little golf hoodie from a very fancy course called Winged Foot. Yeah.
Wow, fancy.
And it has feet with wings on them. Very strange little logo for a golf course, but I like it. So thank you to him. And that's it, termites. That's all we got. I already forgot what episode this was.
33. How was your 63?
It's 63.
Yeah. How was your Halloween?
Fire!
Did you have fun?
Halloween is for the children. I don't care.
Did you give out candy?
Yeah, and I saw the kids' costumes, and even the younger kids are getting too old, though, in the family. We're all getting old. They're getting old.
That is a terrible way to end.
Well, the second batch of kids, they're now like 10, 12. Mm-hmm. There's the little guy that's lagging behind, but, you know.
The leg behind.
The tax baby. That's how I remember Kevin's birthday. He was born on April 15th. I'll never forget it. Oh, my God. Made new Pubcast t-shirts. They've been ordered. They're not available. And they're super cute. They're black and they're long sleeve for fall, winter. And then I was thinking, I'll just throw it out there and then you guys can vote. Do you like gray for a long sleeve t-shirt? White is good for summer. Well, you know what? Try to keep your drink in your hand paddles. Not everybody spills everything on their white shirts. Not everybody does that. I have 2 white long sleeve t-shirts that I wear in the summer, and everything is fine. Okay. So what would you wear the most? I do like my black ones for fall.
Yeah, they match everything.
This one's really cute, though. And I don't wear my own shirts because I feel like an asshole. But I like to make other people like Ron wear it through an airport or something. Right. I feel like you can't be that much of a narcissist to wear your own shirt, but I really like the design of this one. So vote on that. I read the YouTube comments. I do. And I responded to some this last week. It just depends on how much road stuff's going on. The facial book. Yeah. The next, few weeks are going to be super duper busy. Road, a lot of traveling. A lot of switching hotels. Oh my God. I'm going. The Villages. Yeah. Stewart, Florida. Orlando, Hard Rock Live. It's great. Ponte Verde, Florida. Then out to Phoenix. We did this. And then the second run is... What? Oh, no, that's the second run. Oh, that's the first run. Clearwater. And I'm sorry it's on a Sunday, but we've sold a ton of tickets. I'm very proud of you, Clearwater, because I didn't choose that. That was a COVID makeup thing. And sometimes you just got to do what they say. Yep. I'm being controlled by the man. No, I'm not. I just said, are you sure? And the theater people said, yeah, people will come. I go, on a Sunday? Sure. During football season? They were like, no problem. And they were right. Yep. The ticket sales are great. Fort Myers, that's the second Florida run. You have to run out to Arizona. This is all COVID ridiculous. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm going to send my agents? A map. I'm going to send them a giant map. And it's going to have beeps, beep, beep. And then when they send over a potential schedule, I'm going to light it up in their office remotely. And I want a microphone in it. And I want to go, does this make any sense to any of you? I think they would laugh if I was beeping in. Phoenix is nowhere near Fort Myers. And then when they propose something that's not in a route, I just go, The second run is Fort Myers, Sarasota. I'm forgetting somewhere. I don't remember. I know Sarasota is stuck in my head because my parents' friends have rented the party bus. Yeah. So that's going to be a big doings, as my dad would say. It's going to be a big doings down there at that. Then it's Thanksgiving, and then off to a casino in West Virginia. Charlestown? Yeah. I never know if it's not that far from D.C. No. Right. It gets a great crowd. Because people are going, there's a casino in West Virginia. That's how they say it to me, too. There's a casino in West Virginia. Yes, there is. And it's beautiful. Because some casinos, not so beautiful. This one's gorgeous. And then after that, I don't know. Newark, for sure. Aspen. Yeah, I'm going all the way to December. Right. I can't even think that far ahead. Okay. All I know is it's Thursday night football.
And Pop-Tarts are not real.
A lot of COVID running around on my teams. A lot of my players, big C's on their head on the fantasy app.
COVID.
God dang, guys. One of my guys, they said he was vaccinated. I got to trust it. But he's got COVID. And he's a key to the Packers. Devontae.
Cute, though.
Yeah, he's great. But then I don't know if they'll win. Anyway, all right, that's enough of my babbling.
Fire!
That's it, termites. Be a good termite. Be a worthy termite. Be a kind termite.
Vaccinated termite.
Vaccinated. Boosters. All the older termites out there, you sign up for your boosters. They're available. You don't want it to lapse. That's where the COVID gets in. The lapse. I don't know. Seriously, if you're over 65 or you have underlying conditions or any of that, go get your booster. Because then it's time for the rest of us. If you will all take care of that, we can move on from your group. And then other termites can get in. All right?